I'm going to make a quick video about the right way to square up a door. I could do this with a house because I have a house that was built in 1842 and it has a lot of crooked doors in it. But I'm just going to use this building as a demonstration because it's kind of quick and easy. You'll notice this door doesn't close. And you'll notice if you look down here that it's hitting the door frame. If you notice up here, there's a goodly sized gap here, and there's not a gap here. I cannot stick my finger in that gap over here, but over here I can, which tells me that this side of the building is too high, that side is too low. I can come over here and just for, demonstration processes, I've stuck a little jack. It's a small building, so I can do this with a small jack. If you were doing a house, you'd need a bigger jack. But I can jack this up. I can kind of watch the corner of that door as I'm doing it. As this comes up, I'll see that gap on the far side of that door begin to close. See, now I can get a little finger in there, but not a lot. But now also this door closes and opens. It's not sticking down here at all. So instead of cutting the door, I changed the level of the building. Now what I've seen happen in houses a lot, and it happened in my house a lot. That house I was talking about that was built in 1842. People came in and they cut the door. When it no longer fit, they cut off part of the door to make it fit. But that house also shifts because it sits on stones. So when you get frost heaves up there, it changes the set of the house, and then the door no longer fit. So I've got doors in my house that have been cut and cut and cut and cut, and they got all kind of odd angles on the tops and on the bottoms. I've had to literally at times cut a piece off the bottom of one and put it on the top of it to try to square it back up. But cutting the door generally isn't the fix, especially on a building like this, because this building, these are metal doors and they have this little metal trim around them. So that would not work well to try and cut that. But it's fairly easy to jack up a little piece of the building. And what I can do is go over here, and there's a center beam that runs under these buildings, and I can cut a wedge of wood. And after I've jacked this up, I can find where this is sitting on a stone. I can slide that wedge of wood in there to hold it in place so that it doesn't come back down, and the problem will be solved. And if it changes, I can come back later, jack up another part of the building, add a wedge of wood, take out a piece of wood. But I can adjust the building rather than cutting the door. I just wanted to show you that. I hope it's helpful. Y'all have a nice day. So since I started, I'll show you this also. I looked up under here, and the block of wood that I would need to put a piece on is right under here. Right there. Now you can see there's a little notch there. If I take a piece of oak, I cut it into a wedge, like a thin piece of pie wedge, I can stick it right underneath that, between the block and that board. And I can literally, if I can get a hammer on it, I can hammer it in there. You can literally pick up a building with an oak wedge. I've done it to level my house. It was built in 1842 in Maine. I picked up the whole house with oak wedges. It would be very easy to do it here. The reason you use oak is because a piece of pine would compress before it would lift the building, or it might lift this building. It ain't very heavy. But a piece of oak won't compress. It's stronger than the pine, and it will lift the pine. Okay, let's see if I can find a piece of oak. Okay, we'll call this the follow-up. So I put my wedges of wood up under the frame rail there, and now the door opens and closes with no effort at all. So, there you go.